In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source.
Into the fray once more.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west...
It's dark-dealing sorcerers that will strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Is that a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What? Did you expect it to have an entourage? Can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues, of all things.
Pure madness. How could someone be so utterly naive?
Agreed. Call me skeptical, but a little proof goes a long way for the rational mind.
Source hunters! How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead! Seize upon our enemies!
this, worm!
Your grave opens to welcome you! Sweet relief!
Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get... Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking?
We can't well turn away from such an odious show of source. Let's investigate the tomb and see what answers it might reveal.
Indeed. For all we know, these dark-dealing thieves may be involved with Councillor Jake's murder.
Vile kiss of the serpent!
As good as a new penny.
I don't know much, but I do know this. Wherever black robes tread, chaos follows.
Seems to be... I feel better already!
This seems to be broken.
Careful! There's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept there. This place is unbearable! On the mend!
This seems to be broken.
Is you, you're as pretty as a starstone. I may not be able to see past your ankles, but I'm sure of it.
King's tomb that meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day. Well, what's this I've spotted? Let's see. Key, lockpick, or hammer?
We made short work of that door, but I don't imagine our weapons would survive such use for long.
Oh, I needed that. This seems to be broken. spotted something interesting.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
Shh! I think I hear voices downstairs.
The last thing we need is to surprise another angry summoner. This seems to be broken.
What's that? I think there are hidden foes ahead.
Stay the combat!
This seems to be broken. Poison my foes!
In life, I toil to care for these holy grounds. In death, I protect them from profaners and poachers. The legacy of Cecile is mine to preserve. I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for leisure. I suppose you had no lust for the treasure of the dead. Ha! Strange indeed. Robed indeed. Your tricks will not save you from retribution, deceiver. The Bloodstone, deliver it now and I may deign to end you quickly. Run if you like, Defiler. Whichever...
See how fast she scuttles!
Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
I'm in!
This seems to be broken.
Here lies Master Ragequin's second apprentice, killed by dying.
Hold it right there, orc scum! No one slips past the Legion unchallenged.
Calm down, Junius. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to me. Not a single horn in sight, you know.
Just hold your tongue, will you, baby-ears? Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Scythiel.
So, you're sort... Told you to stop.
But flies to this queen!
where you stand.
Into the fray once more.
Look! A wanderer comes my way, walking the sands upon which this poor shell must suffer. Call me Ishmael, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell, doomed to live under a canopy of arid sky, not his native, tender water. Of course I can talk, don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches and pluck the vermin out of their neighbor's fur. Time is an indulgent mistress to one who spends happy hours as she passes. But when your existence is one of misery, she becomes a lethargic hobby. Oh, I remember ancient times, for I have lain here since antiquity, when the ruins around us were palaces, and the sun-bleached dead merry children. All this I have seen, alive, alone, alas. My fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean? Of course they can hear her, the brats. We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I so desperately long for. Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water, swing me as far as your arm's strength gives lease, and treasure long sunk I will grant thee. What do you say, kind knight? Will you return the King of Pearls to the sea, so he may yield you long-lost treasure?
Kindness is its own reward, and then there's the promise of treasure to boot. Let's throw him into the sea.
Agreed. Let's send him home.
Liberator, kind benefactor, bless me the might of your sea-bound witch. The sea, I have returned, where every wave feels like a mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
It's not that I'm not happy with Junius. It's just that Bibius is always dropping juicy scraps. Ah, well, you know what they say. The grass is always grayer. It's not that
Aye, a noble word.
Best way to calm a wily dog is to neuter it. Ha! Spay for pay. Legion's motto.
Just put a sock in it, will you, Bibius?
Ever kept the watch? Stood on the lookout for hours on end, bored stiff. Boredom's a... So, you're sorcerers, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a two-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah, He'll squeeze the truth out of you, one way or another.
I don't need an escort, especially not a drunken one. Back off or face me.
Are you mad? You'd kill Legionnaires? Let's just go to the wizard peacefully.
All right, we'll do it your way.
Captain, come along. We're not far from the city. Pass the bottle, would you, Junius? My throat's dry.
Again, this is a single malt, imported all the way from Hawkesbury, you know. It ain't the local pig swill they sell for ale.
Single malt, my stubbly arse. You've been had by one of them smooth-talking salesmen again. Come, give here before I sober up.
What the hell's happening down there? Orcs! Bloody orcs!
Come, let's go back to the bridge. Let the source hunters handle their big brutes.
One man's trash is another man's trash.
Kill the unbelievers.
Touch of frost! Flare! The time of your death is at hand! Those orcs had a human commander.
How very curious. And how very disquieting.
Filthy beasts! I'll kill the last one of you! I like you much better with your guts.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city. So you were, and so you weren't. Behold! There we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand.
An orc in love. Ha! When this little Sharon fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces. Come now, enough doom and gloom. Cast the doom upon my finger. Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sake. Wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you catch a horn on her head. Bringing your little orcish girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house. Nonsense. Listen. What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
This place reeks of orc stench.
Like you can deny that she loves me. An orc in love. Ha! When this little Sharon fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces. Come now, enough doom and gloom. Cast the doom upon my finger, hanging sin.
One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sake. She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you hurt a horn on her head. Bringing your little orcish girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house. Nonsense.
One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours.
Potion out of a back-page circular from
One
youthful
day,
gore.
Laura, one day you'll show 'em all.
An orc in love.
Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistary, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows, and I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of 2 worlds. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs. But do, and with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice.
Sects, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
Into the fray once more.
Hey, stop that.
We must let the flame spread to the harbor. We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save it. The ship's blazing ever higher.
Come on, man,
It's
put
a
your backs
washout.
into it.
That doesn't belong to us, you know.
You're right, it doesn't. Sometimes I get a little overzealous while I'm on the job.
Overzealous? No such thing when it comes to sniffing out sorcerers. I say we ought to be able to take and use whatever will make our job easier.
I don't know how you did that, hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. Nothing worse than seeing a fine... I thought the old gal's fate...
The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a road.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Ferrell's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! No, it ain't. It's sauce. Here, it's Seal. Ah, of all that cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one. Oops, a ship's got a soul.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got
Ahoy! Ahoy, sail!
Shores? Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Ferrell's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the harbour.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything.
Well,
have you found us a job yet?
Why we never sail the usual door anymore? Size seal, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
I said to him, I said myself, if I don't start earning...
Well, you see, the gold and silver planets in square aspect suggest a struggle.
I've spotted something interesting.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite. Are you sure you want...
We and our shovels will do as we please.
That's right. Let's get digging.
As you prepare to break ground, you gaze at the dirt beneath your feet once more.
All right, time to get digging.
Here's hoping we find something worthwhile.
You plunge your shovel into the earth.
Treasure! Might need to blow this one open. I've spotted something.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and...
No, that would be an insult to the dead.
And a disgrace to whomever is maintaining this gravesite, too.
You step away from the grave.
Far. But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much.
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves. But no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest... Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of meds. Unless one of them happens to have a...
Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence. Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence. So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case. So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case.
Another piece of trash.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case. cares to plead for his very existence? Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence? Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence? Everyone in Sicile is familiar with grinning Stephen. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously. You are? I thank you. Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone.
There's no way Boris should receive that stone over Stephen. Think of Stephen's wife, his children, his grandchildren.
Stephen's an old man. He has lived a long, full life. Boris should have that same chance.
Stephen's death will hurt far more lives than Boris's will. Let's minimize the heartbreak of this terrible situation and save Stephen.
Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking tenderfoot so long? She realized soon enough that her little party tricks hardly make her worthy of such grave responsibilities. Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking tenderfoot so long?
All right, we'll do it your way. Stephen, it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other. No, no, this is high
Oh,
level.
thank you.
What is this? This light. What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow, it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible, terrible! It will consume us all. By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? 2 Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time?
Might be quite mad.
Then we had better appease him. Have a look through the pig lens.
You first, but don't dilly-dally. It's... The portal has become... The portal! It's quite sprung to life. You, dear stranger, you must... Those torches, a light! This portal active once more. Goodness me, how right you are. It is the void. I can't say for sure. It's not that I then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern. Though I cannot say for certain. If it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagued your noggin might well be answered. For I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain. After you, you first. Yes! Just as I hoped. There she is.
The wild ride continues. It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he hopes to find here.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely...
Astounding! Unbelievable!
You have brought guests, I see.
My reaction exactly, milady.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive? A stone? Not like this, never had I... But yours had...
But, Madam Weaver...
Like the source hunters, it would seem that Starstone is not what it seems. Do you see what...
Mysteries of all...
It would appear...
Ice.
Yes, if we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will Indeed you must. Though I may not yet understand...
Why, of course...
Without the...
That shall never be, please.
Not but a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivalon, and now we're...
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
No matter how improbable, anything is possible.
What will it be, Source Hunter? Do tell!
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem. In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men? The drift, except, it seems, you ask and I shall answer. I reside, but smooth these. How might I serve our mission? Ask and I shall answer. If I can, but I am in the drift, except. How might I serve our mission? In the but some these.
The glint body off like wouldn't it? From this week, but well, perhaps before you go, I hope you.
I am the last. I am the last.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer's spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must somehow be interconnected. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the Grand Dame, the advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even rewards you with a slice of fresh herring. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? But perhaps I speak only for myself. Like any cat worth its... Let me freak out if I'm so... in the end... Oh, before you'll need... Now that this...
going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you? Little mix-up indeed. I don't know what you and that horrible little... Out! Now, if you please!
Singer's beard, what a
this
find!
This room is private. Hey! Stop that!
No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what... Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become...
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not?
Quite right. Adventure is what we live for.
See here. You and I share the same passion. I never doubted it for a moment. The thrill of walking the unbeaten path. The rush of finding yourself in a goblin ambush. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and me...
Riches do not interest me much, actually.
Nor me. Wealth is but vanity.
Oh, but I know you're just being bashful. I bet that in your heart of hearts, your eyes water with joy when you discover yet another treasure during your travels. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those orders. Investigate this, retrieve that, and at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it? Wouldn't you prefer to call your...
There is no shame in following directives if your masters are worthy of...
True enough. We serve a just cause, so why wouldn't we follow our orders?
Come, and that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab, so that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. The invitation to join is yours. Grab it.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Don't
quiet
scuttle
down.
away before you've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you like? 3? 11?
Well, hello there.
Let us see if you can choose the finest green.
Made a big cheese on your block with a wheel and a good
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese.
I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during betting. So what do you think? Should I snag a fish? Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish. This man should learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
I suppose you've got a point. Another day, another rumbling belly. Never fed a hungry man, you know.
Maybe the lock can be jimmied. Maybe the lock
can be jimmied.
Excellent. Let's keep it that way.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing?
Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver?
Ah, hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no?
Well, hello there.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Do
dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Watch the undead quiver in their lousy boots.
Made a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff. Not in the mood for cheese. An excuse is more home than a slice of this fine woman.
A good day to you.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Made a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Watch the undead quiver in their lousy boots.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Sizefield's ever seen. Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Made a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Well, hello there.
Potions to bemuscle you.
Waiting for what?
Yours for a scrap of gold each.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Maybe the lock can be jimmied.
Demon, back or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Mortruce my regards next time you see him. You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often, but it's always a pleasure when we do. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern you. See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either, but ones who've taken dark magic to new heights. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say, but it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicile. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup. By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Sicile hinterlands.
Do I seem like the sort
Well,
of concern?
comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town. I've been scouting Sicile for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator. Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work for a trained-up trio of sauce hunters.
Fortune! Ah, we should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils bent against this fair land.
Another source hunter on the team will make us all the more formidable against this wicked magic. Welcome aboard, Medora.
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius shaking in his wee boots.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than Saffron's, I dare say.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be like...
With many chases.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do it.
Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking to.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
Attention! Perhaps it'd be worth taking this stranger under our wing. She'll likely come in handy if we can trust her to watch our backs.
Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
After all, a fearless hunter might prove quite useful for our investigation.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
Source Hunter, I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our kind. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Those folks would embarrass a bridge troll.
It is difficult for me to claim humanity as you do. I am still learning to see myself in the faces of those I meet. And those I meet do not always see themselves in me. It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. I am glad that now I have you standing beside me.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir! No, sir!
Attention! About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Attention! About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Those boots will embarrass a bridge troll. Get the shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You, again. Do feel free to depart from Sicil at your earliest convenience.
Sorry, sir.
Sigurd's beard, what a find!
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. What? I'd never. What a delight she is.
Get to signing recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Siseal, what you're made of.
Bravo! Yeehaw!
To live that, a trifle, my dear.
I don't have the right tool for mining.
Please, assist me, friends!
Back on my feet again. I feel better already.